Hello, everybody. Happy 12/12/21. What exactly does that mean? It just happens to be two dates in a row. So for me, I've always been into numbers. So to me, it just amplifies something kind of cool. So for decades, I schedule things based on numbers, not really looking them up and seeing what other people say the numbers mean, but pretty much what it means to me, what I've set my intention for, and how does it amplify something more magical for me and what it creates inside me versus what somebody else says it's supposed to be. Which brings me to portals and windows and so on that are opened on these specific dates. It's just like the sun comes up and boom, there's a portal open. It doesn't really happen like that. It's a gradual opening and a gradual closing of energetics, right? That's how they've shown me. So you don't wait for the day to actually celebrate or do a ritual or make plans. You get involved with the buildup, connect with your heart. And then on that amplified day, maybe tune in a little bit more and then continue to carry that. And then pay attention to how you feel. You'll know when things dissipate if you're in tune with how you feel. Which brings me to the topic of everyone setting dates, what's coming, decoding things. And I ask myself, my higher self, who is me, I say, so all these underground tunnels, the banking system, people that put on these shows that show where this is happening and that's happening, where this aircraft is and so on, and this person's ex so-and-so and this person's ex so-and-so, and they have all this intel and so on. But what does that do for me? Because I have no way of validating. None. At all. Whatsoever. And my mental mind, knowing where something possibly might be located, what does that do for me? So my guides have been very super clear to me, and that is to stay in my lane, broaden my lens, to be inside the me, myself, and I of the all, of the almighty I am, of all that I am. And to get my messages directly. And trust me, if my divine source put me here with all the software and hardware to be in this place, do you think they left me here deaf, dumb, and blind? No, I don't think so. But it's your choice on whether you open up your pathways to your physical and spiritual innate abilities, your DNA blueprint, God self tools. They're there. You just have to hone into them. And maybe you need to reach out and have people like me or others kind of help you figure out what those are. I'm happy to do that. But here's the point. Spirit always says, go with what you do know. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, I see that that is a wall, and so I know it's a wall, right? It's go with what I know, with what I feel, with my innate divine abilities. And to continue to dialogue and ask for more and additional clarity. So what are the things that I do now in this moment today? I know that Mother Earth is a living, breathing consciousness because she tells me so. I know that Father Sky comes through the great central suns of the suns of the suns and brings forth amazing, beautiful life force energy. I know that the alignment of the planets and the stars have effect on me personally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. These things I know because I see them occur within myself. I know that when I ask for help, I may get it in ways that might not be what my linear brain thinks it should be, but the answers always come. And the more I empty my vessel of things that do not serve me, the more I am available to new heights of information, new heightened sensories to receive information. I know that here in the US, especially the DC area where I'm from, it's pretty much life as usual. People are going to and fro. Sure, there's conversations about stuff, but not that much, because a lot of people just don't want to bring it up. And that's okay. I know that I have clients in other countries that have, from their God mouth to my God ears, have told me directly what is occurring. I don't need a news channel to show me bits and pieces. And when a news channel shows me bits and pieces, it seems very distant. There seems an unrealness to that could possibly be occurring when I'm sitting here in the US not having that occur. So that's happening to someone else, right? But when I get direct information that there are some serious lockdowns occurring, that there are fences being placed on the side of and the side of not. I'm talking people can't go into stores. They can't go shopping. They can get into a food store, but on a certain day. They're losing jobs because of certain sides of the fence that they've been placed on. Because freedoms to move and choose have been overnight taken away. So when someone tells me that they're taking their child to the doctors and they have to wait in the car, and that the doctor who's known them for a long time comes to the car to retrieve them, to take them into a secret room where they have to sit, and that doctor tells them, I'm going to start experiencing fines, like $10,000 each person, if I continue to see someone on the opposite sides of the fence. I will lose my medical practice. So their jobs are being threatened. And when I hear these things and hear I have to sell my home, and when I hear the humor that some of these people find within their stories of telling me, it's like, yeah, and then I hear things like this new variant getting in, and I'm like, well, how did that happen? Because none of the were allowed out of the countries, out of the city borders, out of this, out of that. So we didn't bring it back in, so who did? So as I'm listening to people tell me in these different countries what they're experiencing, and the people are almost afraid to leave their homes because someone's going to just jump them with a medical bag and dose them. And if the mandates continue to go down in age, the less rights the parents have to protect the child. And if you're from a divided home and one decides, I'm going to take this child to do that, the other has no leg to stand on. Not a one, not a toe, nothing to stand on. And when I hear losing jobs, having to sell homes, not having enough money to eat, feed their pets, feed their children, and one person told me that their child left them and decided to live with the other parent. And so now that parent is left with a void because their precious child has chosen to abandon and go to the other parent because they're being swayed that one is better than the other. And that's freaking sad. That is sad. So when I've had these conversations, and it hit me so hard yesterday that I realized I was lowering my vibrations, feeling such sincere compassion and empathy, that I needed to remove myself from the information and to align with my breath and my divine source in the trust and the hope and the love of the divine source, and that all things are happening to and from each other for reasons of building strength and deeper connection of that trust and that hope. And so my feeling so badly and hurting, imagining myself going through it, was only lowering my vibrations and feeding a timeline that wasn't necessarily in my direct timeline in that moment. So I didn't want to dwell and then bring that information into my timeline, into my existence, and then bringing other people on board of that timeline. That I needed to zip it up, stop, drop, sit, connect with breath, get into the portal of my heart, through to my soul, remember my mission, my mission, my mission. And that knowing that these other people that are hurting are on their mission. And then also to hear the people still have a little bit of a sense of humor and are tying their bootstraps and zipping up their energy and realizing that they too are on a very strong mission and they can't lose sight of that. What brought me great comfort through some of these conversations were that some of these people had sessions with me, and whatever came through in these sessions helped to anchor them in these moments that just solidified why I do what I do. And that I needed to be a walking, living, breathing library of knowledge and trusting in the anchoring of myself and the information that is coming through myself and taking in less information from all these other platforms that are telling you where things are and what's going on and what dates are happening that you cannot verify, even if you want to believe it, because you're bypassing the verification of your own inner cellular living library of knowledge. And you're scattering and fragmenting yourself. Whereas now, the here and the now, in this lifetime, we came in to bring all the fragments of ourselves that have been fractaled all over the frickin' place for wherever amount of time. We're bringing these back in underneath this God self hood. So my guides have said to me, continue to focus, stay in your lane, broaden your lens, stay in your lane, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. Send love and compassion, love and compassion, love and compassion, love and compassion. Fill Mother Earth through love and compassion. Fill the tree, the roots of the tree that goes in and sends love and compassion all over the world, from the tree that's standing in front of me, from the roots that I can't see how deep they go. But I am trusting that they have pulled down the energy in my intention and they are sending it out and feeding Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is feeding all the other trees and all the other beings that are here to say, hold tight, root in, anchor in, bring all yourselves in. Collect your tools, your skills from all different lifetimes and bring it in to the mighty spiritual athlete that you are. Be present and mindful of what it is that you do know and solidify and be concrete and solid within that heart space of that information. And stop wondering where there's hidden things and who's in these hidden things and who's where with evil spells and blah, 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 blah. Align your energetic crystalline egg and all the zones within it through this heart-centered portal to your soul. And hold on to that lifeline. And know that you're growing in strength as others are doing the same as you're doing, growing in strength, tethering and tightening the God source lines, building the nets to help support others wherever they may be. You can do this. I can do this. It starts with the one in the oneness of all, echoing out. But if you're in a weakened state of anxiety and angst and unknownness, I strongly suggest you cut and sever all of that and bring forth what it is that you do know and what you feel and what you want to fill and build upon as your God self spiritual athlete. Do your daily athletic connections and be the best you can be in the moments. So your performance on any task, micro, macro, whatever, it's the best you can be, where you're fully present with your intentions right there focused. Yeah, baby, breathe on that. Breathe on that. Bring that in. Own your power by powering yourself up through those divine lifelines, because you are a walking, living, breathing library of divine knowledge. Has to open up that